Yes, that's correct. I wasn't there. The president was. I'm the executive vice president, so I stay in close contact with the president. The meeting was relatively brief. The meeting was basically, we requested the meeting just to come to the table and let them know, hey, there's a lot of reforms you're talking about. There's a lot of unclarity, and we simply want to be part of those discussions. In the FOP's mind, when you're talking about reform to law enforcement, you're only asking for a chance at not being successful if you don't have the law enforcement professionals at the table. That was the point of the meeting.
So, you know, the mayor says that he wants action, not talk. What does he want?
I will be perfectly honest with you. I'm not sure if the mayor knows what he wants. I'm not sure if he knows the direction that he really wants to take. That's why the FOP is humbly asking to be part of these talks. You cannot have a successful solution if you don't have the people that you're talking about, these reforms, or the direction he wants to go, without those people at the table. Our message from the FOP has been clear and concise and consistent from day one. We're willing to learn. We're willing to listen to the public's concerns. We've always done that. All we want to do is be part of the solution. We don't want to be part of the political posturing. We have one mission as sworn officers, and that's to protect and serve the citizens. So the FOP will continue to be the adult in the room, and we will continue to lobby on the citizens' behalf to preserve their safety and to move their desires forward. And we cannot do that successfully if we're not at the table and if we're going to engage in bannering by city officials that really don't seem to have direction. That's not successful. That's not productive. And we're not going to be a part of that. We're going to continually say, and we are going to put our money where our mouth is, that we want to help the citizens. We're sitting here waiting for the tag from the city administration, and we're not getting that.
The mayor says that you're resisting a citizen review board. Are you saying no?
That's an absolute falsehood. That is false. That is absolutely not. Again, pull the tape. The FOP has been consistent that we are willing to listen, learn, sit down with these discussions. There's a lot of things we could work out. The FOP has never resisted. And we've said this again. One of the biggest things that we've ever done as the Fraternal Order Police to accommodate the city officials, but in our minds first the public who we serve, was we agreed to body cameras. We heard the public speak. We heard that there was a gap of proposed mistrust. They wanted more clarity. We understood that. Our job is very difficult. Clarity and facts matter. We had no problems with the body camera. We did not have to take that to a third party. If I remember correctly, we had that done in less than 90 days. Without any pushback, without a third party, we handled that. I'm not so sure why we're not being included with these discussions, how we were the body cameras, which really perplexes me, because we could talk at the table and get things done and not have the bannering, which we refuse to be a part of. It's not productive.
The mayor said, name me one thing that the FOP has done to compromise or do something. I think you just said.
Body cameras. That was a huge thing, not only at a Columbus level, but on a national level. And we were one of the first right here in Columbus, Ohio, and Central Ohio, to get a body camera agreement. And it's been fabulous.
Another thing that I mentioned to him when we were talking is, what about the teens that are going out and like dealing with the heroin problem? Teens that are going out talking about human trafficking. You're part of that.
Well,
That's
that's
a little
correct.
bit different.
You actually touched on a point, if I could say it. It just amazes me that we're here after 3 weeks of riding and after proposed plans that the FOP still doesn't know the specifics. I don't think the public knows the specifics, and we want to be a part of that on the citizens' behalf. But let's talk about what we do know. And these are from the Columbus Police statistics. Right now we have a 14-year-old child laying in the hospital with a gunshot to her head, with another teen charged with, I believe it was aggravated murder. Why don't we focus? Why doesn't City Council focus and the mayor focus on the issues that we know is at hand, such as being a better part of reaching out to our youth in our community? Right now, I haven't heard anybody take a position from City Council or the mayor of leadership to go against taking police officers out of schools. Why would you want that? I don't understand that. You can impact youth at a level where they're able to understand that the officer is their friend. Why are we not doing that? Why isn't the mayor lobbying for that? Homicides, and this is fresh off Columbus Division of Police statistics as of yesterday. They are up 40% over this June, and the month isn't over. This is a 50% increase on over a 3-year average. Listen to this: felonious assaults involving a firearm and a person. So that means a felonious assault with a firearm being used against another human being. They are up 244% just this June alone. Where is the mayor lobbying for that change? What is city council doing to address that? Pointing fingers over if we're coming to the table or not over citizen review boards, we're past that. That's jumped the shark. We're here and we keep saying we're here. Another stat: felonious assaults involving a firearm being shot into people's homes, an occupied business or structure. Those are up 81% compared to a year ago this June. So as I said, the FOP is going to continue to be the adult in the room, and that's for the good of the citizens first and foremost. And we're going to continue to learn. We're going to continue to say, hey, we're right here. We're listening, and we're going to continue to lobby to be part of the solution and not the problem or the bannering.
I asked the mayor, before he got mad at me, about speaking out against the violence against police officers. We've had our officers, probably 200 of them injured through rocks and bottles, people throwing urine on them, talking mean, I mean, you name it. And where's his outrage over that?
Well, Lynn, you bring up a touchy point, and I'm going to give you an honest answer. I don't know. I think, as you cannot have a civilized society if you don't have law and order. You have to have a strong leader that says, hey, we can support the civil unrest, we can support the peaceful protest, but it has to be done on a basis of law and order. I've yet to see the mayor grab a camera in the midst of this chaos and say, number one, we can all talk. We can all work together. We can all acknowledge these places where we need to improve, present reform, and all that stuff. But none of that will happen if you don't have, it's just like with your children. You have to have a civilized base and a level of respect for authority. And he has yet to grab a camera and denounce very clearly, not tap dance around it, violence against the police. I'll give you an example. Several years ago, Steve Smith was murdered in this city. One of Mayor Ginther's officers were murdered in this city. You know what the citizens in the FOP got from that? We got a bleep from the news with his picture saying we're saddened by the loss. To this day, I do not understand with the mayor of the elected people in a city of nearly 900,000, why they would not get in front of a podium and have the common courtesy to set the tone for law and order in their city and denounce violence against a police officer of that nature. That would speak volumes. Police officer, all lives matter, police and the public, but there's a primary example where you had a figure of authority who gave his life to preserve law and order, to where the mayor could have came out and made a strong message. If it's out there, I haven't seen it, and we continue to not see that. And until you have a respect that echoes for law and order, you're not going to have you're going to continue to have the civil unrest that we do. And that lies with the mayor. Those are his policies.
What about the stops downtown? I mean, that's something that we put out there that he hasn't really acknowledged. The people, the random citizens who are being stopped, the COTA buses, their windows being shot out. I mean, he's not mentioned that. We're the ones that are digging around looking for it because we're hearing that from citizens.
You are correct. I saw your story. I saw the other stories by the other media outlets, and my heart goes out to those citizens. Every member of the Fraternal Order of Police, and that's who we speak for, our police officers, goes out. We are taking oath to sworn and protect these people. And there's nothing more heavy on your heart to see citizens breaking the law and have unclear direction how to stop that. There are laws on the books for a reason for pedestrians not to be in the roadway. Not only is it law, but it's for common sense. And we are receiving unclear direction. To this day, we have still not received the clear direction. We're all common sense human beings, and we operate best under clear direction. no matter what kind of job you have. And are pedestrians allowed to be in the street as long as they're peaceful? Does that mean no more permits within the city of Columbus? As long as you peacefully protest an issue, you could shut down and virtually create lawlessness zones within the city. Look at the State House. The troopers are doing their best to protect that, but the blocks right around it are overrun with people in the streets. So how are you going to protect that when you don't have a civilized area around? It's plain and simple. You can, how I've always been taught and how the laws taught me and how I've been trained, that civilized protests are on public property. They're not to be in the streets. And historically, we've always enforced that. For some reason now, that the guidance on that is not clear, and we're seeking that clarity. That clarity would not only help our officers, it would help the citizens know their expectations as well. And we're looking for those because the FOP doesn't set that policy. The mayor sets that policy.
Are the citizens kind of caught in the middle? I mean, that's the way it seems when the mayor.
I believe so. I can tell you I had a call from a citizen that I have no idea came to my office phone because my numbers are public, and I felt for this person. Um, he was unhappy. He was a citizen of Columbus, and he was voicing his distaste for the mayor's action, lack of action, and I wish I had an answer for him. We are all sworn law enforcement professionals, and we take an oath to uphold and keep the citizens safe. And right now, we're not receiving the clear direction to do that, and frustrating is a very, very light word to put it at this moment.